Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Uh, I was accidentally appreciated that you provided a learning minute, and I'm going to provide 6 to 8 more. And the topic was on pauses, which is just another word for waiting. So thank you very much for that lead in that I didn't know I was getting, in addition to the introduction. So, my first question to you is, how many of you have ever lived in an apartment building that had an elevator, or worked in an office building that had multiple stories or levels? Could you show your hands or your hand icon, depending? Okay, virtually all of you. And so, this indicates that you're from the city, or at least were fleetingly involved in a city from earlier on. So, I'm interested in elevators, actually from a mathematical point of view rather than from a weighting point of view. If you live in such a place or work in such a place with elevators, you get to experience a special kind of weighting. From the point of view of the elevator rider, you're either in the lobby and want to go up, or you're in the lobby and you want to go down, or you're on a higher floor and you want to go down to the lobby or below, or you're on a higher floor and you want to go up further, or you're on the lowest floor of the building and want to go up. So, once upon a time, elevators were operated by people as a job. Of course, now that work is outsourced to us, the riders. Their procedure was simple. At the bottom floor, go up to the top, switch directions, and go back to the bottom. And while doing this, stop where you see people waiting and pick them up and deliver them to their destination. And this worked for many years until it was noticed that um, operators had certain conditions that led them to be not so dependable. Namely, some were clumsy, some were short-sighted or nearsighted, couldn't see you waiting. Some and elevator pay was expensive, and they were prone to strikes and illnesses. So Otis elevators became widespread, and a machine algorithm called collective control was designed to dispatch elevators. And it prevailed as two rules. First rule is, as long as there's someone inside or ahead of the elevator who wants to go in the current direction, keep heading in that direction. And second, once the elevator has exhausted all the requests in its current direction, switch directions if there is a request in the other direction. If not, stop and wait for a call. But it's not sufficient to make elevators happy. They are easily pleased past the lubrication. You also have to make riders happy. Then what is the perfect elevator system? Does it serve the person who's been waiting the longest? Does it always respond to a call to go to the floor that is closest to its current position? And how does it address both speedy service and optimal energy usage? Over the last century, people have found it increasingly more difficult to be kept waiting. So the question is it better to make a passenger's ride longer with less waiting? Or is the reverse true? For example, what situation would you choose? Suppose your elevator takes 10 seconds to arrive at your floor and then 60 seconds to reach your destination floor. Or suppose your elevator takes 30 seconds to arrive and then 30 seconds to reach the same destination floor. The second scenario actually is 10 seconds shorter. It turns out that most people opt for the illusion of progress using motion towards their destination than standing still. Historically, as time went on, elevators proliferated. They became elevator banks in buildings, and buildings became taller, and algorithms became more sophisticated. The estimated time of arrival control. The computer considers all the cars moving towards a call and assigns the one it thinks will get there the fastest. Another way, always assign the most urgent call to the car predicted to create the best outcome for that passenger by either minimizing the journey time or using the least energy or some other system priority. A third way, destination dispatch. This has been true since the 1990s. If you press up or down, traditionally, this has been now replaced by entering the floor number you want to go to, and it tells you which elevator will come to take you there. This is just like making a reservation. In this way, people headed to the same floor are bunched together and turning each elevator into an express train. And this is adjusted when there's a morning rush, after lunchtime, or a late afternoon rush. The most modern and successful approach so far is to let the computer decide. Using the machine learning techniques, designers specify what success looks like and lets the computer simulate and come up with a policy for each combination of factors. I want to tell you a story. Late in the last century, there was an apartment building where tenants complained to the building managers about waiting a long time for elevators to arrive. A consultant was hired to examine this problem and offer solutions that didn't require expensive redesign or retrofitting of the elevator system. She observed for varying periods during several days and did data gathering and prepared a report of what was transpiring and considered the reactions of the traffic to the conditions. At the end, she gave her recommendation: place mirrors in all the wait locations. That was done, and miraculously, the complaints ceased. My strong suggestion to all of you is, if you dislike waiting, but must wait, then distract yourself. Luckily, much of the entire world has taken this advice and clutch and view their smartphones at nearly all times. And here's the most astounding thing: all the waits and distractions and accomplishments add up to your life. Madam Toastmaster.